Have you ever found yourself carrying the water for someone else? Not literally carrying a cup or bucket of water, but this is a phrase that we use when we describe that we're doing something for someone else. Well, on today's story, I am going to teach you what it means to carry the water for someone else. And it is a sea level story. I hope you're ready for some learning and laughter. Let's prepare to dive into today's story. Carlos sat at his desk staring at the mountain of papers that belonged to the team project. So, a mountain, of course, is a huge rock that we see that has grown above sea level. But when a person is looking at a mountain of paperwork or a mountain of dirt in the yard or a mountain of sticks in a pile, it describes that you see a lot of something. Let's continue. His coworker, Julia, scrolled on her phone while pretending to be busy. So when someone pretends, they're not being genuine or real. She saw the mountain of paperwork, but she gave attention to her cell phone as if she did not see the mountain of paperwork on the desk. Every week, Carlos ended up finishing her part, carrying the burden on his shoulders. In other words, he was doing her responsibilities instead of her taking care of her own responsibility. In other words, he was carrying the water for her. He stayed late at the office typing and organizing while Julia laughed in the break room. Carlos felt resentment growing inside of him with each extra hour. So when a person has resentment, as I explained in a previous story, it's when a person has anger or is upset because how someone is treating them. And by the way, if you want to study some of my other fun lessons, be sure to go down in the description of today's lesson. Julia always took credit during meetings, smiling as if she had done all the work. Don't you hate people like that take credit for the work that you do? Oh, I hate dealing with people with such an attitude. Their boss praised the team, but Carlos knew the truth sat heavy in his chest. So, when it's a team effort, everyone should contribute their part. Excuse me. Everyone has a part to play. But when someone does not do their part, it makes it more difficult for the rest of the team to be efficient. Think of it this way. If your foot is hurting, then your other foot has to bear the weight of the hurt foot. I have 10 fingers, but if 2 of them are broken, then the other fingers on my hand have to bear the burden for the 2 missing fingers. One day, Julia missed another deadline, leaving Carlos to clean up the chaos. Julia's getting on my nerves. So, chaos describes something that is in complete disorder. Things are not the way they should be. He finally decided to speak up, his voice calm but assertive. So when something, or specifically someone, is assertive, they are showing confidence but yet still being aggressive. So I can be calm but still be assertive. So for instance, I can yell, "I need you to go clean your room right now." But I can also be calm and assertive. "I told you an hour ago that I need you to go clean your room. Get up and go clean that room." So I'm being calm but assertive. Aggressive and confidence is in my voice. Let's wrap up today's story. The boss looked shocked, realizing Carlos had been covering for Julia all along. So the boss realized he had been carrying her water, taking care of her burdens, or as we said here in the story, he was covering for her. He wasn't sheltering her, but he was carrying her water. He was doing what she was supposed to be doing. And hopefully the boss says, "You're fired." Let's find out what happened. Julia turned red with embarrassment as the room fell silent. So she felt shamed. Well, that's good. Hopefully she'll change her ways. And sometimes people change their behavior when someone shames them. From that day forward, Carlos refused to carry the water alone, and Julia was forced to do her share. I love it. Carlos stood up for himself. "I am no longer going to do what you need to be doing." I like to say at home, if you made the mess, you clean it up. I am not going to clean up your mess. That's another way of saying or communicating that I am not going to do what you are responsible for. Well, I hope you have enjoyed today's English lesson. We have talked about what it means to carry someone's water. I taught you various different vocabulary words. Resentment, embarrassment, assertive, chaos, burden. And I hope you have learned something. Let me know down in the comments section where you are listening or watching today's English lesson from. If it has been a help, be sure to share it with someone else. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope you join me on my next English lesson.